Alright, let's jump into it, shall we? So, recently hit Diamond rank, mostly playing this discard aggro deck, which is probably my favorite lore deck right now. And so, since we hit the Diamond rank floor, I think what better time to start playing some janky off-meta decks that are just gonna plummet our rank anyway. So, first up, today is this Darius Yasuo midrange deck. This is something I haven't seen at all, pretty much, on the ladder. So I'm sure that we're going to do great with it, right? Because we know something that our opponents don't. That's how that works. For those who don't know, the basic strategy for this deck is or the way this deck works is that we have a lot of stun effects. Stun cards in the form of things like Arachnoid Sentry, unit that also stuns when it comes into play. We got the Steel Tempest that lets us stun an attacking enemy, take it out of combat. Concussive Palm, another kind of stun the enemy, create a 3/2. Very similar to Arachnoid Sentry in that way, but being a spell, it does mean being a fast spell means we can play it in combat. And all the while we have kind of our cornerstone champion in the deck is Yasuo here, who not only levels up when we stun or recall units, regardless of whether he's in play or not. We can work towards his level up even when he's in the deck. But he improves our stun effects by dealing damage to the targeted units when he's in play, or if he's leveled up, he strikes them, which means he deals damage equal to his attack to enemies, and he's in play. So a lot of the times with a leveled Yasuo, we're essentially turning our stun effects into hard removal, which can be very effective. And in the meantime, we're sort of using those effects to kind of delay the game and get it into get to a point where we can turn the corner and close games out. And we do that with other stun payoffs, such as Fey Blade Twirler here, who gets increased attack. The more we stun, we got Legion General, who just gets bigger whenever we stun. And so these big threats can allow us to punch through for big chunks of damage to finish off our opponents, especially off the back of this new stun effect that we got with Call of the Mountain expansion, Apprehend. Stun an enemy, but if you have a Darius in play, Rally. Rally means that we get an attack token if we don't already have one. So this means that we can attack sort of off turn when it's normally our opponent's turn to attack. Or we can do 2 attacks on our regular attacking turn. So this can be very powerful, kind of let us steal games out of nowhere from our opponent when we do have a Darius in play. So this is just some experiment. This is a bit experimental. I'm sure a lot of other people had this idea as soon as they saw this card spoiled, So it's something I wanted to try and see how we do, see how it does on the ladder. Other thing I wanted to know is that a lot of the times when we're going pretty big with our things like Fey Blade Twirler and Legion General, even though they have decent keywords, it can be tough for them to punch through the various chump blockers that our opponents might have. So we have a couple of Fey guides in here to make them elusive. And if you can make a really big, Legion General elusive and then get 2 attacks off of it with a Darius or something, that alone can be enough to finish off our opponents. So obviously, it's all easier said than done, but let's just hop into some games and see how we do. Like I said, these are off-meta stuff that we're playing today, so we're gonna start by trying ranked games, and if we find that it's just not working out, we might switch to the normal queue, see if we can get some lower powered level opponents and have some more fun with our stuff. So we'll start with ranked, since we got nowhere to go but up, having hit the diamond rank floor, but should that fail, should we consistently be losing here, we will switch to normal. And I think we'll try that with each of the decks we're playing today. Mostly what I like to do on this channel is not just focus on what's meta, I like to focus on just trying different things, experimenting with different cards, trying what's fun. As long as I'm having fun, that's all that matters to me. So I hope, people watching this would agree. And find the entertainment in just trying new things. I like keeping Intimidating Roar in opening hands, usually because it's a very effective way to rapidly level the Yasuo, depending on what our opponent's doing. It's obviously very speculative. If we don't get a Yasuo, it's kind of weird, and if we don't even have a stun payoff like Legion General in hand or a Fey Blade Twirler at the time, it can be kind of iffy. But because, I mean, this deck pretty much always wants Yasuo anyway, so we want to make sure that when we do get him, he's like working to full effect. The deck kind of does flail about a little bit without a Yasuo. Obviously can do okay if we get like those other 2 cards that I mentioned that can allow us to punch through for lots and lots of damage, but obviously we're going to have a rough go of it if we don't find Yasuos. And it's a bit awkward against the Fiora deck. Like, we have ways to continuously stun her to prevent her from getting those kills that she needs to get her alternate win condition. For those who don't know, when she kills 4 enemies and survives, you win the game. So it's an alternate way to win the game outside of the typical reducing the enemy down to 0 health on their Nexus. So the stun effects can be good at like slowing down that strategy of hers, but you know, we're gonna need our big stuff to actually close the games out. I don't pretend to know how this matchup is supposed to go, to be honest. I have no idea. I think we just open attacks here. It's likely that they'll play a Fiora this turn, which we wouldn't want, since these don't have good attacks into that, but these have pretty good attacks into here. I guess this is kind of iffy, because this can just eat that, and I don't think there's a lot of value there. But I'm fine with them trading. This can't be blocked currently by what they have going on, because this is fearsome, and I don't mind them trading their challenger for this 2/2, and obviously this 1/2 doesn't have good blocks. They could barrier this, but I'm fine with that. You know, the more barriers they waste on killing our small stuff, I think the better off we're gonna be in the long run. I might actually just bank this spell mana. I don't know that I really want to play out more things here for Fiora to eat. I just kind of want more ways to stun her. I guess this is good enough. They don't really have spell shield effects. I guess he could hold up. He could have deny next turn, but deny plus whatever. I don't know. It's unlikely. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know if there's much value with this House Fire. I could always play them next round. Just put this out. Ravenous Flock's a very good pickup. So this is a card we didn't talk about in the startup here. This card deals 4 damage to a unit if it's damaged or stunned. This works very well with the chump blockers that we put out in the early game, because they can damage our opponents and then we can finish them off. Or in this case, what we're looking to do probably this turn is we're gonna Steel Tempest Fiora and then Ravenous Flock to finish her off. I think that's what we're gonna look to do this round. Yeah, I guess I'll play this out, and we'll see. It's probably not gonna work. They probably have a barrier to protect her, but we're gonna give it a try. I might actually just let her get the first kill so that we can Ravenous Flock.
My shield is yours. Nature blesses her followers.
Okay. I think we want to put out another two power blocker here for all the 3/2s that they have. I'm just going to take the hit from this, leave the chump blockers. And like I said, I might actually take the hit from this Fiora here in an attempt to hit it with Ravenous Flock. Because if that fails, then we have a bunch of stun effects to slow her down later. Whereas if I stun and then try to Ravenous Flock, then we're down 1 less stun effect that can help slow her down later in the game. Now, the question is, does she have a 2-cost thing, protection? I'm assuming so, but we'll see. Does not, but that doesn't mean they don't have another Fiora in hand. They could just have another Fiora in hand. It's very possible. Spider Sentry. Do I want a spider sentry or do I want to just first or do I just want to swing? I feel like I just want to swing. We can no. Let's spider sentry first and see what he does. Now I'm being wishy-washy. Let's just attack first and see what they do. I definitely see them blocking with this and leaving these. Okay. Do we pass? I think I want to use up my mana. So even though it doesn't, the stun doesn't really do anything other than advance Yasuo, I think that's fine. Because I'm just using my mana, and then I'm going to use the stun effects the following turn. Because ideally we're going to draw a Yasuo soon, and then get to go Yasuo Intimidating Roar at some point. This is another great pickup here, obviously. Makes me think I want to let the dragon eat something. And then that's kind of awkward because now, like, I would do this to slow down their turn, but now they have, but I can't hit them all. So that's very awkward. And he's got Scout as well. It's a really nasty card. I guess I'm supposed to stun her so she doesn't get 2 eats. It's probably what I'm supposed to do. This also puts another 3/2 attacker on the board, which makes attacking in with their 4/3s less appealing, because they can hook one of them with this dragon, but then the other one can eat the other barrier unit. The other question is, am I supposed to stun this?
I see every move.
I feel like I'm supposed to... He didn't have 2 mana protection for his Fiora before, so I'm wondering if I'm safe to try to... I'm safe to try to hit this with Ravenous Flock after the fact. Because it's going to go up to a... What is that, a 6/4 after, but still be considered injured, so I can finish it off with Ravenous Flock. I think that's what I want to do. I think getting that off the table is pretty important, so let's try. To be fair, I think this is just as important to get rid of, and it's not looking like we're going to be able to easily.
Don't let the fluffy tails fool ya.
This would have been nice a lot earlier. I guess we'll do this. It pumps this up to a 5/3 with quick attack, which means it can attack into this. Yeah, that's not so good.
Nature blesses her followers.
Yeah, it's a good chance we're dead here. I'll let us get another draw step. Okay, never mind. We don't need another draw step. We don't need another draw step. I think that's GG. Hey, look at that. We're still What? Attack with units that have barrier or spell shield. I don't think I did that. Pretty sure I never did that. But you know what? I'll take it. Thanks, game, for cutting me some slack. Well, we're definitely keeping a Yasuo in hand. I think Arachnoid Sentry is great in our opener as well. Precious Pet for a 1-drop is fine. We don't usually want Fey Guide until a little bit later in the game when we've established kind of like firm control and we're ready to turn the corner. I think we'll keep the rest of this. Now we just need to find stun effects, more stun effects. Especially with this in hand as well, we just kind of want to be stunning as often as we can reasonably do in this game. You know what? I'm going to consider that a win for us. Them using a Thermo Beam that could quite easily take out something more important like our Yasuo here. Yeah, I'm fine with that. I'm gonna pass. It's not mana efficient, but I think we want to try.
I got ways to find me mushrooms.
Death is like the wind, always by my side.
Probably gonna swing. We'll do this. I'm not going to use Ravenous Flock on that. I think I'll save this for something else. I'm just probably going to open with Arachnoid Sentry on the next turn. And we'll see where we go from there. There's a chance he can kill our Yasuo in response. Which is kind of like the trouble with this deck. It's like I have some Twin Disciplines in this deck, but it's hard to protect Yasuo and deal damage to him here. Is this another Thermo Beam? He might have been very aggressive with his first Thermo Beam because he had another one. Good morning, your boy Rodri. How are you doing? I'm doing great, personally.
Your turn.
Excuse you.
Just playing some off-meta jank and Legends of Runeterra here. Just stuff that looked kind of fun and interesting to me. Stuff that I've been wanting to build for a while. And what's great about it is we just hit a rank floor on the rank ladder, so I don't have to worry about losing rank. So it's great. The perfect time to play this kind of stuff. Yeah, I guess we will go and hit this with the Sentry. Alright, so Yasuo deals 2 to it. We're just 2 more stun effects away from leveling our Yasuo. Excited for next season. For which season? On cards? I suppose. Is there something in particular that I should be excited about? Did they announce some changes or whatnot? I'll be honest, I haven't been following. There will be balance changes. They didn't say what the balance changes would be, though. They just said there will be balance changes.
A sturdy construction. Just when I needed assistance.
Okay, so a tokens buff. Ooh, yeah. I'm down for a tokens buff. Alright, so we're going to move into our next turn. I think we want to open attacks here. Actually, I don't think we do. I think we want to open with Intimidating Roar, which will stun all 3 of these and kill all 3 of these, assuming our Yasuo survives. It also serves to level him up, which is very good. And then we'll still have 5 mana up to either play a Legion General, a very big Legion General, or we can Concussive Palm something, strike it. You know, like if he plays a Lee Sin, for example, this turn, we could Concussive Palm and kill it. We could also Apprehend it and kill it, I suppose, but I would like to save this for when we have a Darius, if possible. Right. Alright. Sometimes this animation is really slow. I'm not sure why.
Follow this path until the end.
So we just turned our like 5 mana, you know, stun our enemy board into an actual sweeper. An actual one-sided sweeper, which is great. I'm assuming this is we're about to get thermo beamed, yeah. But you know what? I'm fine with this because we haven't attacked yet this turn. And so, oh, I suppose he can play this as a blocker. That's kind of awkward, eh? But that's okay. I think now's the time to do this. So he's obviously gonna block, but that's okay. Ravenous Flock with the 2 stun effects we have in hand is not the worst.
The spirit gives to those who listen.
We'll go ahead and play this out. No reason not to, really. Grant me +4. Okay, well that's a blocker, unfortunately, for our guy next turn, but I could like stun it double Ravenous Flock. I don't know if that's... Is that worthwhile? It might be, actually. He spent most of his mana this turn. That's a lot of cards we're spending on taking out a single unit, though. There's a Darius. That could get him. So we're gonna open attacks here. Because this is currently unblockable.
Ready yourself.
Okay, he's got a concussive palm of his own. That's not great, I'll be honest. It's not the greatest. I was hoping that we'd get in a hit.
Longs for the poetry of battle.
Yikes, they had 2 of these in hand as well. That's really nasty. So now, is it worth playing Darius and rallying? Probably not. Maybe I should have just played Darius out before I attacked. I was just fearing something like Thermo Beam or some other sweeper or something, but maybe I was supposed to play Darius out first. I'm not sure if it would have mattered much. You'd be down to 7, this would be a 10. No, it would have mattered. It definitely would have mattered.
My axe is ready.
Now I think we still do it. It doesn't feel good to do it, but we will do it. Yeah, I definitely should have played this out first. I think considering the nations that they or the regions they were in, it was probably better just to play this. But it's tough to say. They could, for all I know, they could be playing that guy that when he comes into play it stuns 2 things, then we would have been really sad.
I see every move.
Yikes. Alright. They got it all.
Gone.
Breathe in, breathe out.
I think we've now just kind of run out of gas.
Eminently logical.
And fire! Grasping claws.
I earned my rank.
Fallen petal.
Do have a big 10-4, but it might not be enough. That is an intimidating roar, however. And we know he can create some more of these turrets at burst speed with these mushroom clouds, but they won't be able to block this 10-4. Okay, so he's denying it, so that's unfortunate. Now he has something else that he can play. Yeah, I think we'll call it there. He's just gonna have too many blockers. The deck doesn't really have any catch-up mechanics in it, so we'll go one more in ranked and probably switch over to just normal queue. Good chance we run into meta stuff in the normal queue anyway. In my experience, it doesn't really matter. A lot of people like playing their meta decks on there, but you get some experimental stuff every once in a while, or just incomplete versions of meta decks, so. I think I kind of like all of this. Legion General is a payoff, but I don't think we want that in our opener. Precious Pet as something just to do on one. Start pressuring their life total, I think is fine. Random Fiora decks, yeah. I definitely see a lot of experimental stuff in the normal queue. Off meta, still competently built, very well functioning decks, but definitely more off meta stuff in normal. I can't speak to Fiora decks specifically, but yeah, I guess I tend to see Fiora decks a little bit more in normal. I'll just swing with this. This more of a, okay, Twisted Swain.
I need more hands.
That's a good hit for them. I guess we'll just pass. I'll bank this spell mana. We have some expensive spells in hand that we can use this on. Maybe we can play something like that and then stun something to start getting some benefit. If he opens attacks here, we have decent blocks, so I'm not too concerned with that. I'd probably just let that one go, honestly.
Think you're fast? Cute.
Wouldn't be surprised to see him do something like, oh boy, what's that card called? The one that lets him deal 3 to a unit of his and then deal 3 to anything. He could probably just kill his 1/1 to kill our 1/3 quick attacker. That has the potential to get very, very big. Definitely see that happening. I guess we'll just pass here. I suppose I could make a very big Fey Blade Twirler with this, but I don't think that's really going to do anything. We might try that next turn, because then we can attack through all of their stuff. And it also makes this Legion General very, very huge. So why not? Let's try to get away with that. Probably won't work, but, you know, this levels up our Yasuo instantly.
Now who's got the upper hand? Here's our chance.
And makes this guy a 10/10, which is quite nice. I'm assuming we're gonna see something like Make It Rain, or yeah, something to stop this, for sure.
Now who's got the upper hand?
Guess I will go ahead and do this, and right back at them.
Underestimate me. I dare you.
Noxian Fervor, thank you. I'm still pretty new to this game, so I don't have all the cards memorized quite yet. I think we'll do this. Actually, does it matter? I don't think it matters. We'll just do this. Because if he kills this in response, it's probably when an effect that's gonna pop this thing anyway, so. Yep, there's the Make It Rain. Getting the best hits, as usual. Oh, it didn't hit R3 too. I thought it did. I thought I saw the glowy glow hit R3 too. Yep, that's fine.
Should have sagged.
So I guess we'll just play our 11-11 this turn. Kind of want to save these for when we have a Darius, or when they have a little bit better of an effect than just stunning.
Deal me in.
So we kind of want to have a...
I'm a people person.
So now the real question is, like, he wants to open attacks here, obviously. And if he does, we could potentially block both of these 3/2s and then get to play this Legion General, but he's shown us that he has stun effects. So maybe we just want to lay down the Legion General. It does mean he has chump blockers for our stuff, though. It's tough to say. Make It Rain is the only reason Bilgewater is the best aggro deck because it destroys the aggro mirror. Yeah. I feel you. I feel you wanting to make it a 3 mana. The way most games play out, it acts just like a one-sided sweeper in aggro mirrors. And especially, yeah, with the way that they tend to curve out with powder kegs, it's really nasty. I do agree with that. I don't know if it's too strong, but I would agree that it's a kind of a feel-bad card. It definitely, yeah, it's definitely a feel-bad card. Whether it's too strong or not, I'm not convinced of that, but we'll try to get this Twisted Fate while we're at it here. Because even though it can't block our stuff...
I'm out.
It's kind of one of those things where it might be... It's like too strong at 2 mana, but it might be too weak at 3, you know? It's hard to say. To me, as an inexperienced player who mostly plays decks that like really don't like Make It Rain, so I have a bit of a bias, it feels really strong at 2. Like, too strong, but again, that could just be my bias. That's one of the things I have to keep in mind.
All will kneel before Noxus.
So he could have the 3/2 spider here again. If he doesn't, we have a really good attack, obviously. Like, in fact, we can kill him if he doesn't have a way to stop this. But he's about to draw too, so we'll see. He could also have another Twisted Fate and gold card us. There's a lot of ways for him to stop us in the deck.
Close the distance.
And this is why we took that turn that I said before with letting him attack us and get greedy with his 3/2 so he wouldn't have blockers for our fearsome unit, so... So we saw, you know, that was the route to victory that I saw based on the way the match was going, and we kind of played, we let our opponent make the mistake. I'm doing air quotes here, make the mistake. I don't know if it's really a mistake from our opponent's side of the board, but it might be, you know. Deep monsters. I don't have any idea how this matchup goes. I would assume it's bad for us. You know, us being a mid-range deck. These two together can be very good if they have a hard time taking this off the table, but they tend to have the grasp card. Sorry, again, I'm not quite sure of the names here. I guess we have this to protect her. It's all very speculative though, keeping a hand like this. I don't think we're supposed to. It might be okay though. Protection, this. Let's try it. It's probably a bad keep, but It's the way I see us getting under what this deep deck's trying to do. That's a Legion General as another stun payoff, so now we just need actual stun cards, which is another reason why this keep might have been bad. Fey Guide's a tough one, because there's only 2 of these in the deck. You really want them to, like, get around their blockers in the mid game, or, like, their big stuff in the late game. I think I'm okay with that. I don't want to attack, though, but I think I'm okay with that. I don't normally see this card in their archetype. Maybe this is a new experiment they've been trying. Oh, is there an incoming petty officer nerf?
Point, I shoot.
Guess we'll try to save her. Doesn't feel great because we don't take this thing off the table. Going down to a 3/1, that seems like a reasonable nerf. It's a 3 coster, right? It's a 3 coster that creates either a powder keg or another 1 cost unit. That seems like a fine place to start. Trying to rein in Bilgewater, because it seems like Bilgewater is in all the top decks all the time. So I kind of want to play the spider. I kind of want to hold up protection for this lady too. It's probably just not gonna work out, eh? That's fine. I think we don't want to try too hard.
Underestimate.
She's already vulnerable too. We can only protect her for so long.
I will tend this garden.
Do I apprehend? Make this really big. I'll deal 5. This is gonna eat it and get back 3 of the 5. Like, there's no way he blocks, right?
Life starts small.
Now all we have to do is get this thing to a 15-15 and Fey Guide it, and we have a real shot. Easy peasy.
Protect our grove.
That's no good. I guess we have this up again. I'm just not sure if it's worth playing. Time to make some coin. Sure, I'll block the 1/1. And yeah, I guess we'll try to save you again. Now we're dead to Withering Grasp next turn. That's fine. He probably got 2 sea monsters that will eat this. Also not good. There's another stun.
Try to keep up.
Make it worth my while.
I like opponent blocking. I like opponent being very aggressive here. They know that the longer they extend this game, the better their chances of winning are. So definitely no reason to value that 2/3 so much. That 2/3 tanking 5 damage is definitely worth it. Do I play one of these guys out? It's a 6/6. It's like, it's not the worst. Play the Arachnoid Sentry first. Just to, like, make them better.
And so,
This is like a little bit of wrong half problem that our deck is having here. We have like the stun payoffs, but we're not getting the actual stun cards. Not enough of them anyway.
They're so small, but she ain't lacking courage.
life eternal.
And now this is going to take away all of our stun effects effectively, right? It's just going to leave our 4 Yasuo and Darius in the deck. Our Yasuo that hasn't leveled yet and has no way of self-enabling, and the Darius without the rally. Oh, okay. Apparently I don't understand how that card works. I thought it gets rid of all the non-champion cards when it levels. Oh, leaving for non-champions. Oh, so it gets rid of champions too. I didn't even realize that. I thought it kept.
Give them room to spread their leaves.
Yeah, that's fair enough, right? Because then that big old sea creature doesn't get you. Oh, that's what I'm thinking of. Yes, the effect doesn't toss, it obliterates. Fair enough. So I could Intimidating Roar to get one of these 5/5s bigger, and then we can hopefully start attacking with them. They're currently unblockable on this board, but he's likely to have. I know he created a sea monster in hand with that Jaw Hunters, and now he has another one.
The world waits, begging for dominion.
We'll see. So if this blocks this, the sea monster can actually finish it off because it'll have less health. So maybe... Oh, there's one of them. But he could have created a bunch. And I have a feeling he has one in hand that he's saving. So we could Fey Guide make this elusive.
To spread their leaves.
Let them see me, not you.
This kills him in 2 attacks. The question is, can we survive their next attack? Now I don't think we have enough time to win. I mean, that was pretty expensive for them, but now they have like multiple turns to set up lethal attacks. I don't think we'll get there. I don't know, maybe this Apprehend and other stuff can do it. It's unlikely, though. Oh wait, no, it's impossible, right? Because we're gonna draw a card next turn, then we're dead. The following turn? I've never lost like that. I kind of want to get there just to see what it looks like. It feels bad. It feels a little bad losing to the deep deck since I spent most of the last month obliterating these decks with the discard aggro.
It'll stare back.
Because it's just discard aggro just absolutely destroys this deck. Yeah, unless our final card is a Fey, even if it is a Fey Guide, it just doesn't matter. This is a 10-10, doesn't get through their 13-13.
All will kneel before Noxus.
Well, I hope our opponent had fun at least, because I know deep decks have been struggling lately, as far as I understand. Okay, that's a thing that doesn't really do anything. Yeah. I still want to just keep passing and see how I lose with the deck out.
Your ship has come in.
Cool. All right, it's nothing special. Now I know. All right, I think we will go to normal queue for the last little bit. I've been playing this deck for 45 minutes. I'd like to play it for another 45, I think. But we'll kind of get on a more level playing field when we do it. And, you know, we'll still face decks like this that are still probably very reasonable against what we're doing. They're just not, like, the best decks in the game. So we get a little bit of more variety that way as well, hopefully. Because that's kind of one of the main things I'm most concerned with when I play card games like this, is trying different things, playing different types of games, experimenting. So, playing, not only us playing different decks, but facing different decks is something I'm interested in.
Flavor and spice.
So I guess we'll just play this. I don't want to play out my Fey Blade Twirler because it just gets eaten by this thing. But in this way, they have to at least trade. That is a
Don't let the fluffy tails.
Steel Tempest, so that's nice.
Whoa, you gotta focus.
Smell that? A bite's a cooking.
If they don't open attacks, I'll definitely start by playing the Yasuo,
Feel the sizzle.
but he's opening it.
You're so hungry.
Eat up, friend.
Hello, friend.
Which I think is good for them. So I just take this hit? That's a lot of damage. I think I'm gonna skip block for now.
Sleep is for the guiltless.
Now he could have, maybe this is not good because he could have, yeah, single combat. I just kind of thought about that.
Be free, Lou.
I don't know if that's the worst, but
Think you're fast? Cute.
I probably should have opened attacks there.
The
Yeah,
balance requires
that was a
watchful
mistake.
eye.
I could have done two more damage there. I guess we'll just pass. Ravenous Flock, eh?
My shield is yours.
Honor dictates both our actions.
Wow, this guy's got it all.
I sense an imbalance.
Hand to the face.
That was super rough because it took away our 3-2 as well.
Here, guide me.
Like, the stun is one thing, but losing the 3-2 feels really bad.
So I go.
Opponent, I thought opponent, like, they were playing like they had a game plan, and now they're like,
Batter him.
It must be
they
done.
got to this point, they're like not sure what to do.
Hand to the face.
Enforced equilibrium.
Can't fight on an empty stomach.
We'll go here because we can kill it with the level up. I suppose we need to start blocking some things, although I could do this and then finish it off with the Ravenous Flock. Steel Tempest this. I mean, there's a good chance they have something to protect this. They might even have... Is the Riposte? No, Riposte costs 4, right?
Now who's got the upper hand?
Just do this now. Again, the deck kind of suffering from wrong half problem. We had like a lot of the payoffs, but not a lot of the stun that we needed. It's a Darius, I guess.
Handle this myself.
Rally. I don't know if that's that big of a deal, to be honest.
Immediately.
Sure. We gotta fight through these effects at some point, and we have another Darius, so let's do it.
I sense an imbalance. Our wills align.
Want to see these moves up close?
If we had another Ravenous Flock, I would feel like we were in a good position.
So I go.
Oh, it's on.
I'm sure he has something to protect his Shen here. If by some miracle he doesn't, maybe we can win this game with our big chunkers. Our sort of big chunkers. Not as big as I'd like chunker. Oh, great. His level up thing. We're dead. Never mind. I forgot that his thing buffed that. I wasn't even looking at the board. I think if I didn't run out my Yasuo into his single combat, I think we would have been in a better spot there, obviously. I think I should have just played the other Fey Blade Twirler. He might have been inclined to spend the single combat on one of the on one of them, and then we could have played Yasuo next turn and potentially started messing them up. Maybe.
Fuse is lit. Victory at any cost.
Don't let the fluffy tails fool you.
All hands on deck.
I think I'm okay for trading this for his 2-1. Am I? No. No, I'm not. Precious Pet's okay.
Got something for him.
Hey, Lazy Lasagna. Yeah, no cards today. We're going to be playing cards on Friday. This is Legends of Runeterra. This is Riot Games digital card game based on their League of Legends IP. It's actually quite fun. I've been enjoying it a lot lately. Yeah, I'm okay with that. Do I want to Ravenous Flock this? I don't think so. I think I could get more valuable targets. Potentially. Sure. It's a concussive palm. I think I just want to stun their board. Maybe I'm supposed to wait for a Yasuo when I do this though. But if I do this, this gets what? Plus 2, 4, 6, 8 attacks, so it goes up to an 11. Whatever he plays next must chump block, and he probably wants to play something big like a Gangplank. Doesn't mean he doesn't have other things to play though. Tough call. He could also have ways to just kill this outright. So maybe I'm supposed to save this for a more pivotal moment in the game. I guess we could start with this and see what he does.
Death doesn't scare me.
Keep up, keep up.
Underestimate. I dare you.
I think this is an okay Ravenous Flock target. We're 1 mana short of saving that. That's okay. I think we're in an okay spot. We just kind of really need to draw Yasuo, as usual. It's usually how those games go.
No one's the wiser.
Do I want to use Concussive Palm here? I think we have pretty good blocks anyway. This hits us. These get blocked. Like block, block, block. All of this block. Yeah, I think we're okay. Save this for something else.
They'll never see.
Everything, like, we pretty much trade off with everything that they have. But...
Lock the doors.
Oh, Yasuo, where are you? Even Yasuo or even one of our Legion generals at this point would be pretty good. Hopefully we see one of those cards. Darius is also not the worst.
Settle the business.
Yeah, well, they're opening attacks next turn, I think.
You wanted wrath.
Now we get a Darius. Probably need to trade here. We can do this. And we're probably just dead. That Make It Rain was brutal. Make it rain, man. We were just talking about that card. How nasty it can be.
Handle this myself.
Sure.
Learn from this.
Right on time, precious bet. Right on time. Why did I pass there without attacking? I do not know. Hopefully that's not relevant. It's a lot of damage
Bask
though.
in her radiant blessing. Back, heretic.
So we'd actually have them down to 10 if I didn't mess up, and I'm gonna attempt to Ravenous Flock this. I think there's no better time than now. It's just gonna get harder to kill him as the game goes on.
I'll see this through. Conflict is all in the mind. Ying Yue, you've been in my thoughts.
Oh, Lee, you always just think too much.
Their heartbeats quicken.
Spring does not pity winter. Daylight warms the heart and lights the way.
They will bleed for Noxus. Mine is the hand of Noxus.
Another concussive palm's pretty good.
Sunlight guide you, my brethren.
Yep, was hoping we'd see that. Because now we can just go wide on him.
I will not hold back. The dragon lives.
And remember, we missed 3 points of damage this game. It ended up not mattering, but kinda did, because there was a round where we could have given our guys +3 attack and put lethal on board and would have forced the reaction out of him. We could have ended the game like earlier, or just like, or at the very least sapped more resources out of him. Another Lee Sin deck. It's pretty much not... Oh boy. Can I have the first hand back? No, I think if it's between the other two, this one's the better one. We just need to draw into some decent cards here. Give me some Feyblade Twirlers, give me a Yasuo. Give me a 1 or 2 drop, like the 1 or 2 drop spiders. Please. No, that's not, nope, 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 that's not what I want. Okay, that's
Don't let
something.
the fluffy tails fool ya. Yeah.
Twin Disciplines, huh? Twin Disciplines is a card. That it certainly is.
Sunlight guiding my
I'd
brethren.
actually just spend this just to have a good attack with this next turn. It also is a little bit more resource efficient because we would have lost the mana. I mean, I guess we're losing 2, you could argue, but... Then I just have a decent open attacks with this the next turn.
Underestimate me. I dare you.
Oh my god.
Try to keep up.
This is this is an interesting hand we've drawn into here.
Leave or burn.
Twin Discipline's pretty good with our quick attack units.
Have faith.
We swim within the flows of magic.
Here's our chance.
Okay, so do I play this Fey Blade Twirler out in hopes of getting other stuff done with it? I guess so. It's just more resource efficient. Like, if this is not getting better the later the game is going, so I may as well play it out, see if we can get like a +4 attack on it with this intimidating roar at some point. That helps. That definitely helps. Do we want to play a Darius this round first, though? He's showing us he has, whatchamacallit. So maybe I'm just supposed to play the Spider. Pale Cascade. What else could he have? He could also just buff any of these other things. Darius. Should I play Darius and swing with him? Or I could play the Spider and hope to swing with both of these. Maybe that's the line. Then if he plays like another unit with 4 or less power, I can play an Intimidating Roar and get a real good attack. Okay, that's not the case anymore.
The journey is difficult. These will protect you.
A gift from the river folk.
I think I will swing with this, because if he wants to eat this and let this much damage through, I think I'm okay with that. Especially with a couple Darius in hand, one of which I can turn into a Decimate. I think that's fine. Oof, that's a great draw.
Beware the dragon spirit.
Do I need to do that? I think that's okay. I guess it means these just get infinitely blocked the next turn.
I'll see this through. I will not hold back.
What form will the waters take?
My lands need me. Prepare yourself.
Zigged! Should have sagged.
For Noxus! Mine is the hand of Noxus.
So do they have something to stun?
Our enemies cannot hide.
Try to keep up.
I actually think I want to do this. Try to go a little wide.
Act free of doubt. Yeah! I'll see this through.
Protector, shield me.
I fight with the dragon's fury.
A gift from the river folk.
Man, it's so awkward how this guy draws, even when
I will not hold back.
no matter what he strikes, it's pretty good.
Conflict is all in the mind.
Sweep them away.
Prepare yourself.
What form will the waters take?
I'll handle this myself. This is the mountain's final test.
I think I need to try to use this to stun one of his bigger things.
Bad for the teeth, though.
Because blockers don't really matter, because this thing overwhelms. I need to just get rid of... Ugh, where were you last round?
I will not hold back.
Protector, the peak remains safe.
All of Targon does, for your diligence.
We just pass, right? So I attack with this. He blocks. He can block here and just take 4. Or he could even sacrifice his Lee Sin, which is less likely, just to take 2 if he's afraid of a trick. But I don't think that wins us the game. How do we win here? I'm not sure if we can anymore. Like, what top deck do we need to win this? Guess we'll see.
Celestial power. My lands need me. Conflict is all in the mind. I will not hold back. Center your spirit.
All right, he can challenge still. That's so annoying. This doesn't matter, right, because of this? All, yeah. Lee Sin's a heck of a champ. Yeah, I can kind of see why you don't see these Yasuo decks anymore. Synergy decks, I guess, they're just not very good because the individual cards themselves, like Yasuo's not good without stun cards, and the stun cards aren't good without Yasuo, so it's hard to. Maybe I'm supposed to keep that to protect the Yasuo. Okay, well, it's just too bad because I think Yasuo's a really cool champion. And like I love the style of it. If some like mopey mid-range deck like this could be good, that would be my dream because it's just very fun. But it's a little too slow to get under the control decks, and it's just not powerful enough to stop aggro most of the time, it seems. Not unless you get like really good draws.
Don't let the fluffy tails fool you.
There's plenty of killing left.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely find you definitely start running out of gas a lot of the time. It's another major problem that the deck seems to have based on the games we've been playing. And like this is another thing, right? Like this is one of the better cards in this archetype, but it like just doesn't do anything. It's not a real 2-drop. Just doesn't do enough on the initial turns.
Now who's got the upper hand?
I guess we'll get rid of this. Maybe this is overly aggressive. I don't know. Yasuo can't kill it with a stun effects. I think it's fine. We could play a Precious Pet and have like a decent open attack next turn. Obviously depends on what they play. Second Yasuo is kind of interesting because it does mean that the one can enable the other.
You spurn my gift.
You spurn my gift.
Find me a flaring lump.
These seem like interesting blocks. I think I will play Yasuo then. Them keeping this alive.
Eyes blazing bright as torches.
What does that mean? They drew a Sedge that they're gonna play next round. At least we can stun it. That's not awful. We kind of need more though.
You won't feel it at first.
Underestimate. I dare you.
I think I just play the general, honestly. So that's stupid. They're gonna play Sedge. And then the way Sedge is programmed is that for some reason she can hit you on your level up. I guess we'll see what they play.
All will kneel before Noxus.
Oh wait, they still have the mana to do that. I don't know. We'll see what happens. They're probably gonna Sedge us and then just whatchamacallit, they're gonna warning shot us every time for the rest of the game. Another Yasuo.
Pick on some of your own speed.
Oh, I guess they block with this first, and it does the same effect, because for some reason she triggers when she levels up for the first time.
Leave no survivors.
Which I guess it makes sense, that's fine. Wow, she actually hit the, Man, that's such an unfun thing to play against.
Time to start over again.
Ugh, this deck is just too slow. So many other, like... Frostbite just destroys us. Wait, we might play 1 or 2 more matches with this and then move on to something else. I wonder if they'll do anything to improve this archetype. Because they have so many cards that are just basically unplayable. And this unplayable champion. So I wonder if they'll add more cards to improve it. Or if they'll modify these cards to make this archetype more playable. It's kind of a tricky balance though, because like stunning... I don't know, if you make the cards too good, then like other decks just use it as like form of control that don't even care about using Yasuo and stuff, then you can just make the stun effects really obnoxious. So it's like a fine balance that you have to strike. Because, like, cards like this are already perfectly playable as is. So you can't, like, improve on these. There are mid-range and control lists that are using these cards already. But, like, how much better can you make certain cards like this, for example, without them being obnoxious? I don't know. I don't know. I just want to play a good, like a half-decent Yasuo deck. That's all I want. Opponent finally returned to their keyboard. Can play a game now.
Denounce magic.
Okay, I will. If you say so, I'll denounce it.
Stand in judgment.
Use our resources. We have another spider in hand anyway. We have plenty of stun effects in hand. We just need to find the payoffs now. Sure, deal. Problem is, we're probably just never ever gonna be able to beat a control deck like this. Or we're just too slow, and this draw was too slow.
Yoink.
Why did he say yoink? I stunned you. I yoinked you, if anything. Well, there's a Yasuo. It's probably not getting through, so let's just attack with this first. See what our opponent does.
You look guilty.
Answers, I have them.
I go where the road takes me.
I think I'll just go ahead and do this. We get a blocker, and we get an opportunity to stun him again to finish him off with this with the Yasuo. Depending on what they do.
The sun is shining. We should too.
Do I go for it here? I think so. I think it's worth it. Lux gets an attack in, but it's not a great attack because her barrier will be gone, and this could deal 3 to her, which puts her in range to get finished off by Yasuo on a later turn. I suppose if I do this, though, he could single combat our Yasuo in response. And that would be bad, so let's not do that. Okay. Now I think I can go for it fairly safely. Let's see what they do. Actually, the way that they're ordered here, it would kill these two, he'd level up and then kill Lux. But I'm sure he has things like single combat and whatnot. That's kind of interesting. I guess I can't now kill her because she's leveled up. That's unfortunate. And wait, is this free? Oh wow, so she gets to kill the kill Yasuo anyway. We just cannot catch a break. Even when our draws are actually pretty good, we're still just like getting destroyed. That's sad. This deck is in a sad state of affairs for sure. Are we still out of it? Probably with that 8/8 in hand. Like, we don't really have anything we can do reasonably, right? Go block here or not. Oh, he's stunned, right?
It works. It works.
Alright, GG. Yeah, I'm gonna move on from this one. It's a fun archetype, but it's just like its power level is just too low. You just can never really get anything going. Suffers from wrong half problem a lot of the time. Either you get your payoffs without the stuns, or you get too many stuns without the payoffs. Kaka made a good point. Because the deck lacks meaningful card advantage, it makes the wrong half problem even more likely to happen because you can't churn through your deck finding your key cards that you need in the given situations. So that like compounds the problem a little bit. And ultimately, it's just like it's a synergy deck where like the individual cards themselves aren't powerful. You need Yasuo to make the stun effects worthwhile. and vice versa. So yeah, I guess that relates to the wrong half problem that I was talking about before. Like the deck is like it just requires too many things to be going right, and like even when they are kind of going right, we're still just too slow a lot of the times to get under the control decks, and sometimes we just can't even hold back the tide from like the really aggressive decks that exist right now. So it's unfortunate because this is Yasuo. When I first started playing this game, this was the champion I was most interested in playing around with, but it just seems like he's in a really bad spot right now. Hopefully they'll do something to change that, either directly buffing him or buffing the archetype in such a way that makes it more worthwhile of playing. But it's tough to say. I feel like all the cards, like they're fine. They're kind of like fine in a vacuum, and I don't know what you can really do meaningfully to change them without also making them just obnoxious for use within and without the archetype. Because like I said, there's a lot of perfectly playable cards in this deck that see play in other archetypes, and it's like you can't exactly buff those and expect and then they'll just be more obnoxious outside of this archetype, you know what I mean? Anyway, I think I get my point across more or less. The games we've played spoke for themselves to a degree. So let's finish up with that one and move on to another.